Hello beautiful souls, and welcome to Sagittarius season. Let's pick some cards and see what the energy is going to bring for you this season. So today I have a pick a card reading for you to see what Sagittarius season is going to be bringing for you. You do not need to be a Sagittarius sun, moon, rising to receive this reading. This is just what the energy of Sagittarius season is going to bring for you. I've previously done this for Scorpio season, for Libra season. I'll be doing it for Capricorn. So let me know if you're enjoying these by hitting that like button. And if you're new, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe because we're just growing this beautiful spiritual community and I'm really excited to have you here. I have chosen cards from Beyond Lemuria, Children of the Cosmos and the Soul Plan Energy deck, and that's because I feel like Sagittarius is such a free-spirited, explorative, philosophical comedian. So I chose these decks to work with because I feel like they just really sing to that. I mean, Children of the Cosmos, could that be any more Sagittarius? So I really hope that you enjoy this reading. There are two piles to choose from. I'm going to put those on the screen for you now, so just take a minute to tune in and just see which one you're drawn to, and if it's both, that's okay. You can listen to both and then decide which one really resonates or aligns more for you. Always trust your intuition. It doesn't matter where you have Sagittarius energy within you, so if it's soul plan, that would be the 15, or it might be your sun, moon, rising, Venus, Mercury, Mars, might be just one of your houses. That's completely fine, but we know Sagittarius is this fun-loving, out there, and just really enjoys connecting with and exploring with new things, new people, new places. So I'm going to try and keep these readings slightly shorter because I'm sure the energy of this season will be starting to connect and you'll be wanting to just go out and play and explore new places. So let's just dive straight into card pile 1. Okay, so if you chose card pile 1, then the first card that came through for you is from the Children of the Cosmos, and it's honor everyone's journey. Honor both your journey and the journey of others. This is really interesting. There's a definite theme within the cards that have come up for you today. And so this season is actually really about you taking a moment to hold space for others. There's a lot of recognizing your energy is just as important as what you say or do, and so you may actually find that this season you're holding space for other people, honoring everyone's journey. So that can really be an opportunity for you to maybe bring a bit of peace or a bit of healing to a relationship that you have or a situation that you find yourself in, recognizing that you can't change other people. You know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. And that might be what the kind of theme for you this season is that instead of trying to control a situation or be in charge or change something to be the way you want it to be, actually, can you just hold space and allow it to be what it needs to be or what the other person needs it to be? Can you just stay true in your power but allow the other person to be in theirs and to do their thing? So again, this could be a relationship theme. It could be that perhaps you have a difficult relationship with someone in your family or somebody you work with. So it could be that really this is saying to you, okay, you've tried all these other approaches, you've tried to reason with them, or you've tried to argue with them, or you've tried to ignore them. What if you just held space to let them be themselves? What if you released any judgment or anger or frustration or any of those unloving emotions that you have been feeling? What if you just let them go? Or what if you just sat with them for a moment and then let them go, and then just witness the other person, just allow them to be, just stayed in your power, put your protection around you, of course cleansing your energy first, put your protection around you, and then you were just like, okay, this is what it is, this is who they are, I cannot change them, but I can change how I feel or the energy that I hold towards them or how I deal with this situation, or I can even change by leaving if I need to. But if it's something where you can stay or you have to stay, like a family member, obviously we don't have to stay, but I mean, like, you know, we're coming up to the holidays, maybe there's a holiday gathering that you have and you are obliged to go. If there is an opportunity for you not to be there, then obviously that is something that could be really healthy for you. But if you can go, can you hold that space? It might be really challenging initially, but actually you might find that the energy shifts and that person suddenly is aware that your energy isn't like defensive or offensive, but instead is just calm, and they might be really calm. So let me just get to the second card because I think the second card links really beautifully, and the second card is actually the one from Beyond Lemuria. I think we might have had this card before, you know, guys, and it's the Violet Flame, which I feel like I every time I do these cards, I dress like the violet flame. Got my violet hair, violet outfit. You can't quite see, but my eyeshadow's got this kind of violet-y tint to it. So okay, so what's going on here? So what's going on here is the violet flame is obviously an energy of transmutation, right? So maybe when you're in that situation and you're honoring the other person's journey, can you call in the violet flame? Can you say to the violet flame, can you just burn up anything in my aura and my energy that isn't loving, that isn't healing for me, or maybe it doesn't originate from me? Can you cleanse it, release it? Can you cleanse this space? Let's say you have to go to a family gathering and you get there and the energy is really heavy and you're like, oh God, I can tell there's going to be an argument or a disagreement, or there's going to be a snide comment. Just stop yourself for a second and think, wait a minute, I'm going to call in the violet flame. And the violet flame is going to come in and it's going to clear and cleanse that space. I can already feel it. It's going to clear and cleanse the space, and it's going to allow you to have a fresh start. Yeah, this is a really, really powerful energy to work with. And it's almost like raising something to the ground so you start afresh. So then you can call in other energies you want to work with, right? And actually I'm going to come into the next card, which is the soul plan card. And this is the Divine Mother. This energy is obviously, oh, we've got a beautiful ray of sunlight there. This energy is obviously really about unconditional love. It's about healing. It's about holding space. It's about inner wisdom. So really, I feel like you're able to call in and cleanse the energy of the space and then call in this energy. Now, it doesn't mean you have to call in the Divine Feminine, but you're calling in an unconditionally loving energy. And it says radiating love, compassion, and wisdom. This is really allowing you to hold space. And you can see that the figures here, it's like one is carrying the other. That doesn't mean you have to carry the other person or carry their burdens. I want you to translate that into holding space, okay? And I think this is what this card's going to help you with. And this is why this card has come up, okay? So it's really a journey for you, this Sagittarius season, to, yes, you're important. Yes, your needs are important. But actually, by holding that energy, by holding something that isn't loving towards another person or a situation or a space, it's not really serving you. So you're looking after yourself, but also you're actually acknowledging other people exactly where they are, without any judgment or without any restrictions or limitations or expectations from you. It's just, I see you where you are. I honor your journey. It's not my journey. It might not even align with my values, but they align with your values. You're happy where you are. And I just really invite you to come into the mindset of, as long as that other person isn't harming you or themselves, that you can just hold space, okay? If they are in a space where they're harming you or themselves, by all means remove yourself from that situation. Call upon the violet flame to cleanse your energy, and then call upon the Divine Mother to come down and just surround you in love so that you can feel the love that maybe you need or you haven't been able to receive, okay? But I think this is going to be a really interesting time for you, and it could be a space of growth, because it's like giving you an opportunity to see and experience something differently and to really step outside of yourself and be a witness, which I think could be really amazing and could be something you employ later on and with whatever work you are doing. So I hope that you've enjoyed this card reading. Let me know how it resonates, and I'll see you next month for Capricorn season. Okay, so if you chose card pile number 2, then the energy that you're working with for Sagittarius season is vulnerability. Bare your soul, the world needs more vulnerability. So this is really interesting to me. Immediately I'm getting healing. Okay, so it might link to the Scorpio and the Libra season card readings that I recently did. And to be honest, I also would check out the White Newman Tarot unboxing that I did as well. Because if you're choosing card pile 2 throughout these readings, there's a real message here. So it's like you've been through the difficult stuff. Now you're coming into a space of healing. And I want to say something important about vulnerability. Please only put yourself in a situation where you feel safe if you're going to be vulnerable, because being vulnerable takes a lot of courage, a lot of strength, and it comes from a really deep space within us to actually be vulnerable. It's a really rare thing to do, actually, I think, for humans, because we're so often in this fight or flight response. So to come into the space of vulnerability, that's a really big ask in many ways. And so firstly, I just want to honor you if you're in this space of healing. And secondly, I just want to remind you that you only need to share when you feel safe, okay? Very often we see coaches and healers and teachers saying, oh, you need to go out and share your story with the world. Absolutely, if that feels like something that's right for you, by all means do that. However, wait until you've actually healed what it is before you start sharing it with people. If you're in a space where you're sharing something and you're deeply feeling the emotions, whether that be rage whether that be upset, whether that be confusion or frustration or betrayal, whatever that is, then that's not healthy for you to be sharing that in that space, and that's not healthy for other people to receive it. It's when you're able to come into a space where you can be vulnerable, but you're not still in it. It needs to come from a healthy space, basically. So if you're going to be vulnerable, just make sure you feel safe to do so. And therefore, vulnerability could mean two things. It could mean that you're coming into a space where you're ready to share your story, you've healed things, and the things that you have healed, you feel ready to be vulnerable with others and to share that. Now, that could be family members, that could be friends, or it could be on a larger scale. It could be on your social media. So it could be vulnerability in your workplace. It could be something else, okay, that you feel you're ready now to share. You can be vulnerable because it's healed. So I'm just going to use myself as an example here. When I went through depression 10 years ago, I really struggled to tell other people. I actually only told my mum and my neighbor, and that's because she kind of worked it out anyway. And I'd never told my best friends, and to be fair, I don't think even now that best friend knows that I went through that, unless they watch these videos. Which if you do, hey, I wasn't vulnerable with them, and I couldn't be. I was really embarrassed, and there is nothing to be embarrassed about. There's no shame around depression or anxiety or any kind of mental health, because actually it's really important to acknowledge that and to work through that and to heal it. I didn't tell anybody, and I actually really struggled to express it even with other spiritual people as I did my training and things like that, because I felt so much shame and embarrassment around it, and even on social media. And I'd say it's only really in the last couple of years that I've kind of felt comfortable to say, yeah, I had depression. And I don't know why I really fell into the stigma that came with it, but that's another story. What I want to share with you is that actually now I feel like I've healed and I've come into a space where I can share it, and no longer does it bring up stuff for me, no longer does it trigger me. It actually is a space where I can share it, and I feel that I'm at peace with it. That's an example of something that you could be being vulnerable with. The other side of this may be that actually you're ready to start your healing journey. Maybe something's happened, and it could be something that's followed on from the previous readings that we've done. Therefore, you're ready now to go into a healing space with a counselor, with some kind of therapist. You feel ready to approach that, because you do not have to do this alone. It's completely okay not to be okay, and it's completely okay not to be okay and to seek guidance or wisdom or strength or being held by other people, because you're going to be the one doing the healing. It's just that other people can support you, other people can hold the space for you, because they can really help to guide and navigate you into the direction that's going to help you. Otherwise you might end up spiraling or going in circles, right? Which is definitely something I did, and I'm so grateful that I went and received and focused on healing when I was depressed. So there's two kind of strands to this here, so let me know which one resonates for you. And then the second card that came in is actually healing, which as soon as I saw this I was like, okay, this is definitely the theme for the people who picked this card. So firstly, what I'm intrigued by is here it almost looks like the chakras. I wouldn't say it's perfectly aligned because we've got a bit of green here, a bit of green there, but it's just making me think of the chakras. So maybe just tune in and check, are your chakras balanced? If you don't know how to do that, firstly, I have a chakra meditation on my channel that you can enjoy in my meditation playlist. Secondly, you can do some research, right? It's Sagittarius season, so you can do some research into chakras, see if they resonate for you, see if the energy centers are something you're interested in. Find ways to bring balance and to check when you're out of balance with them as well. So there's something there that you can do, but also it's going to be just a bit of healing that you're focusing on the Sagittarius season, which I feel like really kind of pulls on from that first card. As I said, it might be that you're ready to step into some healing, and it could be that you feel that something has been healed and you feel okay about something, and then actually Sagittarius season is like, by the way, we may need to go into this a bit more. And that's absolutely fine. It's okay to go back into the layers of something and be like, oh, I thought this was healed, but actually I need to go into it a little bit more deeply. So I'd be really interested to see if there is something that you're working on or some kind of healing that you have been drawn to for Sagittarius season. Just see what your soul is called to. Trust if your soul is calling you to it, okay? Trust your intuition. It's the right thing for you. And then finally, the soul plan energy that came through for Sagittarius season is, you guessed it, the healing energy of potential manifestation. And this says direct spiritual connection, balance of divine male and female aspects. So this is actually one of the most healing and one of the highest vibrational energies in soul plan, and it's definitely saying to me that there's a call for healing, but also there's this balance coming in again. So I'm talking about balancing the chakras with this, but then this one is talking about balancing the masculine and the feminine. So this is interesting. So could there really be an element that you have been a little bit too much in your feminine or a little bit too much in the masculine? Ultimately, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, it's okay. We all go through that. Nobody comes down to earth and is totally balanced in the masculine and the feminine. And by the masculine and feminine, again, I just mean the action side and the passive or the receiving side. And so maybe you've been just taking too much action, pushing for productivity, and you're burning yourself out. And so your soul is like, hey, let's just take some time out. Let's just heal. Let's come into the feminine. Let's bring some balance a little bit more. We don't want to go from one extreme to the other. We just want to see how we can bring a bit more balance in, okay? So it might be that you're focusing on self-care and how you can bring that in. So I think there's this balancing quality going in that's coming in. So there's healing this season for you. There's being able to be vulnerable, whether that's with a healer, seeking counseling or some kind of healing from a therapist, or whether that's you feeling ready to share your story, in which case this card could be interpreted that actually you're going to be helping to bring healing to other people, because you'll be awakening them to something they might not know about. They might not understand. I did not understand depression when I had depression. I did not understand it, and therefore I thought it was one thing and it wasn't. And so when I actually went to the doctors and she signed me up for this mental health 6-week course, I guess you could call it, I went and I was learning about depression and how it means a multitude of things and how it can show up in a multitude of ways. And actually I realized, oh wait, no, I do have it. So it might be that you're sharing in your vulnerability actually helps somebody to come into their space of healing as well. So just be mindful of that. And of course, we're always mindful when we are sharing something, because it can trigger or bring things up for other people. But at the same time, if your intentions come from a very loving, wholesome, healing space, and you're just sharing what you've learned so that other people can benefit, then that's going to bring the healing that you set the intentions around. So I hope that you've enjoyed this reading. Let me know how it resonates in the comments below, and I will see you in next season's readings for Capricorn season. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading, beautiful souls. I really enjoyed it. I felt like the energy is really beautiful and it feels a lot softer than kind of the intensity for the last couple of weeks and months that we've actually had. So it looks like we're going to be moving into something that could be really beautiful and really healing and really expansive for us. So I hope that you've enjoyed this. Let me know if you do in the comments below, and I will see you in next week's video. I'll be doing it for the next so I hope that you're enjoying these. Glitter in my eyes. And there's a tiny little kind of fruit fly there. Hey, what are you? Bit of transmutation. By the way, excuse my nails because I actually dyed my hair yesterday and my fingers are still quite purple. So just ignore that. Just ignore that. So that is right, isn't it? Like 99% sure that's right. Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay. Let me have some water. I always know when I've got to 11 minutes when I'm recording because my camera just cuts out. So I don't know if there's a setting or something, I have no idea. But yeah, it just cut out. So there we go. I've been chatting for ages.